There are a lot of great stories on the PGA Tour, and I'm going to tell you one of them. If you don't know the story of Boo Weekley, this is worth listening to. He didn't start playing golf until he was a freshman in high school. Only played 1 year of college golf before dropping out to go back home to Milton, Florida, and work at the Monsanto Plant, cleaning out ammonia tanks. He played golf on the weekends with his buddies, and he thought that'd be the rest of his life. He entered into one mini tour event and ended up winning. It sparked something in him, and he played in every mini tour event you could think of. Ended up getting status on the nationwide tour, which eventually led to status on the PGA Tour. He's won 3 times on the PGA Tour, was on a Ryder Cup team that won at Valhalla, and has amassed $15 million in career earnings. We were able to catch up to him, only using the Wi-Fi from the house and the Bluetooth from his truck to get the interview done. But it was an amazing one. This is Boo Weekley on My Biggest Win.
There you go.
Perfect. We got him. We got him.
Redneck. You got a redneck doing crazy stuff.
Well, I'm glad we made it work. I feel like we just took some tin foil, put it on the roof of the truck, and just got it all going. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Well, hey, man, first off, really, really good to see you. It's been a while. I miss you. And I hope you're doing well down there in Florida. I know that Los Angeles, as we spoke about on the phone, isn't doing too great right now. I know you guys are having more fun down there, but hopefully you guys are staying healthy and safe.
Oh yeah, we're staying healthy, man. We got our garden going, got all of our stuff going. Just been doing a lot of fishing and hunting right now.
That's so good. You know, your whole path to becoming a PGA Tour winner and a 3-time winner at that is just amazing. And I think the real conversation that I had with you at Farmers Insurance, where you kind of gave me the whole breakdown of working at Monsanto and all the other things, just blew my mind. In my opinion, and correct me if I'm wrong, but 2007 when you won at RBC, the Verizon at the time, I mean, your first PGA Tour win, I would assume would have to be your biggest win.
Well, actually, my biggest win was the first mini tour I won to get me, because that kind of like what got me jump started, because I was still working at the plant at Monsanto, and Jack Slocum just started, Heath Slocum's daddy just started that DP tour, and they were playing in a golf course close to where I grew up at, and so they invited me to come play, and I had to ask my boss, my foreman out there, if I could take off and do this and do that, and he said, yeah, man, go do it. And so I went and played, and I won $3,000, and that changed, like that really changed my whole atmosphere of, man, I can play golf for profession and make money and really do what I really like to do. Man, this is it. You know what I mean? So that kind of what sparked the whole golf for me turning pro, and that was in '97. But to be able to win on the PGA Tour it's a feat that a lot of people love to do. They dream about doing it, and I dreamed about doing it when I was playing, and then when I won the RBC, and then chip in twice back to back. I mean, by far it's one of the greatest moments of my career, but there's so many different like moments that you can't just define one just because you won.
Right.
It's just like the Ryder Cup. You know what I mean? Like to be able to play in the Ryder Cup, knowing that you're playing for your country. And I got to play that same year, '07. I got to play the World Cup, and I took Heath Slocum over there, in which me and him grew up playing together. So I knew there wasn't nobody can beat us in my heart. You know what I mean? Because we grew up. I mean, like we know each other like in and out of just everything. Like, I know if I miss this shot, I can leave it over here and he's going to get it up and down for me, or something like, so it was awesome.
What is it about that area you grew up in? Obviously, Milton, Florida, right next to Pensacola. And then Bubba Watson grows up in Baghdad, next city over. What was it about that ecosystem down there that produced so many great golfers?
Well, I mean, Bubba, we all grew up together. Bubba lived right across the river from me. And I mean, it's all the same little old town. It's all Milton. It's just, he lived in Baghdad. I lived in East Milton, and then Heath lived in Milton. And, we all were right there. And there was a lot of great golfers that come out of Milton during our era of our time there. But it just, they had other dreams to chase instead of chasing. Like Heath was gonna go. I knew Heath was gonna play professional golf. I knew Bubba was gonna play professional golf, and and then you got me. That I was just kind of lost out there for a while, and then I kind of got stuck. I started late. You think about it. You turn pro when you're 26, 27 years or 25 years old.
So,
And I mean you kind of get started late.
when you grew up, when did you start playing, number one? Number two, you only played 1 year in college, and then you ended up working for Monsanto cleaning ammonia tanks is what we had talked about initially. How did your golf career start? When did you first pick up a club, and how did it grow into making it on the PGA Tour?
Well, my mom started playing golf, and I played baseball, football, soccer. I played all the sports, just your normal sports. And I got hurt in all of them. Tore my knee up, tore my shoulder, my elbow up, shoulder up, broke both my ankles. So it was kind of like I had to find something else to do because I love sports. I love being outside. So I picked up golf, and then we started playing. I'd say I was going into the high school. I was 8th grade going into high school, and I started playing golf. And, and then all of a sudden I fell in love with it, which a lot of people do. It's probably the best sport that ever will be played. And cause you just one-on-one. It's just you talk to yourself. You think you're crazy out there half the time because you're talking to yourself. But, it is what it is. But, you're out there, Pat Perez real well. And that son gun, look, he's probably one of the craziest ones. He'll be over there mumbling, jumbling, and you don't know what he's fitting to say. And you don't know if he's talking to you, his caddy, or that tree.
Oh God, I'm gonna send this to Perez. He's gonna love it. He's gonna love it. And so I've always wondered, you mentioned you've played with Tiger. I'm sure you've played with a variety of other people. You're so personable and you're so likable. Have you ever, number one, been in a situation where your positive energy and your, good spirit wasn't received by a playing partner or an opponent? And was there a time where you got to play with somebody like Pat Perez and you guys just had a wild round talking to fans, talking trash to each other, maybe a couple of side bets in there?
Playing with Pat's always fun because we can talk trash, and Pat well too. And Colton Oast is another good one. You got all these guys out there that love to talk trash and, say different things. And, but to be able to re-interact with the fans, to me, that's the whole key. Because, that's how you pick your fan base up. That's how you pick up people. You see a kid on the side of the thing. And one thing I like about Pat, he'd see a kid over there and he'd toss him a ball. A couple of times, caddies might get in there and, find a hot girl or something and write their number on it and flip it to her. You never know what's going to happen. I've had people call my number like, hello? Yes, is this JoJo? Oh, no, this is not JoJo, but hang on, I'll give you JoJo, Like, hello, here's JoJo. JoJo answers, hey, baby, what's going on? Where do you want to go, Oh, yeah. You never know. Like, sometimes I'd miss the cut, and I'd go watch Stephen Bowditch. He's a good friend of mine, and I'd go watch him play, like, at the Masters. I missed the Masters, and I think it was 14, and he was in the Masters. So I missed the cut. Well, I went out there and walked, I walked both rounds, Saturday and Sunday with him.
Really?
You know what I mean? I ate me my Polina, or them little sandwiches, and drank me a couple cold beers, and, Heath Slocum, I missed the cut in Jackson, Mississippi one time, and I watched Heath Slocum win that tournament.
Wow. And you were just following Saturday and Sunday?
Yeah. You know what I mean? And I just, I got regular clothes on, and I always show up being goofy anyway. I had a hat that had a wig under it, and I'd put it on where nobody could see, recognize. I put some glasses on, make it look weird or something, make me look like that Lion King dude, That one that they got Tiger on, well, that's pretty good. I started laughing. I said, oh my gosh, I hope Tiger's seen this.
Oh, that's so good. Can you tell me about leaving college and what the jobs were like working for Monsanto after you give up playing college golf for a year and now you go back to Milton and you just get the job that was right there for you? I assume the kind of low-hanging fruit, I assume, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was like, I mean, everybody, if you don't go to college, everybody goes to a plant. We got a bunch of plants around here. We got a bunch of textile plants. We had, the paper mills. Everybody goes to a plant, or, they work for a farmer, or, they're always, there's plenty of stuff to do here. It's just, you might not be making, more than about $40,000 to $30,000 a year. And, that's life. That's the way life is around here. It's easy. It's simple. It ain't nobody in no hurry.
Hmm.
But when I went to Monsanto, I cleaned tanks. I hydroblasted. We cleaned lines out, sewers out. We do shutdowns. I did a little bit of electrical work with my cousins. I got my hands on a lot of different things and learned a lot about, I know I'm allergic to electricity. I don't like electricity. Look, I'm no electrician by no means. But I can wire stuff, but I don't like messing with it. It'll get you.
Have you ever been electrocuted?
Yes, a few times.
What happened? How badly?
Well, the one time it knocked me completely out. I was spraying inside one of them big cylinders, but it was on the fan side of the air ducts, and I was spraying, and I got too close to the main power surge where it comes into the fan base or to the fan thing, and that little bit of water hit it, and when it did, it just sparked it, and I remember seeing the spark. And then next thing I know, I woke up and they had me drug out to the side over there. And, it was like, oh my gosh, but it happened fast. And thank goodness it didn't hurt me no more than just knocking me out.
Oh
Because
my!
I was standing in water, and when it hit me, it just pow, and it just blew me backwards a little bit and then knocked me down. So
That's incredible. And so, how many years did you do the job at Monsanto?
I worked there for right at 3 years.
Okay.
97, I went to work there in 94 and worked there all the way to 97.
And then you won a mini tour event
Yes,
from
sir.
Hestad. And after that, what was the path like to get onto the Nationwide at the time, which is now Corn Ferry?
I did 5 years of trying to get on, to do Q school. Never made it through Q school till the last year. And Heath Slocum's daddy caddy for me. And here's a good theory. Heath Slocum's daddy caddy for him when he got his tour card. He caddied for me when I got my tour card, and he caddied for Bubba when he got his tour card.
Really?
Yes.
Is he still alive right now?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's his name?
Jack Slocum.
Yeah.
I played the Hooters tour. I've played in just, I think, every state open, traveling around trying to play in the state opens and doing this and doing that, I loved it. Played the Teardrop tour, played the Ben Hogan tour, played the, I played the Nike tour. I've tried out for every tour, you know what I mean? Like to make it. And then, 2002, I finally made it.
Yeah.
And then, and which was awesome. I mean, that was, I didn't know what to do. I was wearing rain pants and tennis shoes.
Yeah. So is that true? I read that you wore for the entire first season that you were on the PGA Tour in 2002, you were wearing tennis shoes and rain pants for all the rounds. Is that true?
Yes, sir. Sure is. And then I figured out nylon, nylon breeches, so they don't rub. Because I had a skin disease I got from a cow because I grew up with cows, and we'd give birth. Like if a calf got stuck, and we'd had to pull them out. Well, somehow I cut my leg going through the barbed wire fence or something. I don't know. I did something, and then I got in there, and we had a cow breached, and we had to flip her around, and then we pulled the cow out, and when it comes out, all the stuff comes out with it. So there's all kind of stuff, and because you got both ends right there in front of you, and so I got some stuff on my leg. Well, the next time I know, it was some kind of, I don't know, like a skin disease that was eating the hair off my leg, and it was just kind of weird looking, and I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. It kind of looked like it would be like poison ivy. It didn't itch. It was just eating at my leg.
Yeah.
You can see my skin like rolling off.
Really?
And so we started, and they realized I couldn't wear anything that was tight, like not tight fitting, but just where it would rub on that spot. Because if it rubbed on it, the more it would spread.
Yeah.
So that's why I wore rain pants so it wouldn't rub on it. Because, you know, rain pants, you go to sweating inside of July. I'm going to tell you right now, July in a pair of rain pants, buddy. Look, that's why I was so skinny then. Look, I need to try that now. Maybe my big ass will get skinny again.
Oh my God. And then why tennis shoes and no golf shoes?
Oh, I never played in golf shoes.
Really?
Never played. I mean, I never really played in golf shoes. And then when because, I mean, you got to realize, you play the mini tours. You ain't playing the best golf courses.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, the tee boxes, they never were, like, overseeded. So, and that's really when you slip, when you kind of get on golf courses that got overseeds, where it gets a little damp and you can slip around. Where I never slipped because the golf courses I ever grew up and really played around, I mean, they were great golf courses. They taught me a lot, but it just wasn't, it wasn't the golf courses that were like manicured at the highest level that we used to playing on. And then when I got out there, I kind of, slipped a few times, and I was like, oh boy, this ain't right, So then I realized, all right, maybe I need to get some, some shoes that's got some little rubber, different gripping on the bottom of them. And
2002, you only make 5 cuts in 24 tournaments. 03 to 06, you're back on the nationwide tour, which is now the Korn Ferry Tour. And then you get your card back in 2007. As we spoke about before, you chip in on 17 and chip in on 18 at the RBC to beat Ernie Els by 1 stroke, and you win your first PGA tournament event at 33 years old. And like you said, you started making $40,000 a year at Monsanto, and now all of a sudden you make $1 million in one day. What was that like?
Oh man, it was unreal because, like, it was like, did I really just win? Like, and I told Joe caddy for him, Joe Pilot, at the time he was caddying for him. I was like, Joe, you got to pinch me. What's happening? I was like, dude, just got to pinch me. My agent, Jimmy Johnson, was there. We was all like, what, I was like, what do I do now? Like, he goes, well, we got to go to the next tournament. And I was like, for real? We got to go to the next tournament? I was like, dude, we just won. Why do I need to go to the next tournament? He goes, man, you obligated just playing the next tournament. You got to go. And I was like, well, God dang, I'm going to have to wait to stay the night here. And Jimmy goes, oh, no. We already got you a private plane. And I started laughing. I was like, get out of here. I was like, I get a private plane for winning too? I was like, man, shit. You got the wrong mug up in here. And next I know, they had me natural light on the plane. They had my beer up there waiting on me. Man, it was amazing. We flew all the way into New Orleans. And of course, we partied like, oh my God. I think I partied for 3 days straight. I didn't even worry about making the cut. I wasn't worried about nothing. I just showed up like, man, I'm hung over, my head hurting. Where'd that go? I don't know. My head hurts too. It was like, what the world, man? Like, you got to watch my ball. That's what I'm paying you to do, man. Watch where this sucker's going. Well, I know you're going to have to watch it too. I said, man, I can't see it. My head hurting.
You win. You do the media. And you go straight to the jet and you fly to New Orleans. And
yes, sir.
Did you even have the slightest intention of taking the next week seriously at all? Or was it just like, I have to be here, so I'm just going to have fun and party and I'll miss the cut?
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't taking it serious. I don't know. I think I ate my weight 3 times in crawfish. I'm telling you, dude, I didn't care. I would just eat like, man, dude, I was having a ball. Like, it was like, I knew I was in the park. I just won, and we in New Orleans. Okay, yeah, right. That's like me going back, winning and going to Vegas. I mean, it's going to be just as worse.
Oh my God. So this is 2007, and 1 year later, you win the same tournament again and get another $1 million check. What was that like, round 2?
Dude, that was even crazier because I was playing with Anthony Kim the last day, and we were battling it out and playing and this and that and the other. And I had to look at JoJo because I was standing on the last hole, and I'm like, man, if we got about a 5-footer, for par. And I was like, dude, I got to make this to win this tournament. He goes, I said, I see it left flip. Where do you see it? He looked at me as serious as could be. He says, would you shut the hell up? You got a 3-shot lead. I was like, do what? I said, dude, I ain't even looked at the leaderboard. I ain't looked at nothing. I was just grinding away, just trying to keep playing, you know. And then he goes, yeah, man, you got a 3-shot lead. Ain't nobody can touch you. And I was like, get out of here. He goes, no, for real. I said, shut the front door. He said, no. I said, okay. So I lagged it down there and, I just lagged it down there close to the hole and tapped it in. I think we won by 2, and he goes like, he just hugged me. He goes, dude, you just won this song up back to back. You know how many people have done that? I said, no, I don't know. He goes, I think David Love's won it 5 times, but I don't know how many people won this one back to back.
Right.
And I said, well, maybe if we keep playing this one, we might can win it a couple more times.
Oh my God, that's amazing. And then that year, you play on the Ryder Cup team. You guys won at Valhalla, but you were ranked after that win 23rd in the world in 2008. So you go from Monsanto cleaning out ammonia tanks to a first mini tour event in 97. And then 34 years old in 2008, you're ranked 23rd in the world and you're headed to the Ryder Cup. And I mean, what does that feel like to know where you came from, know the odds of success were so low, and you just overcame all of it, and now you're sitting on top of the world?
The way I was raised, you got to be humble. You're always going to stay humble, stay who you are, stay true to your friends, your real friends, stay true to the people that helped you along the way. And I mean, I can't explain it because I'm still like you could fly here and I could take you and go do things without this coronavirus. But like you pull in there and say, "Hey, Boo, how you doing? Well, how you doing? Dang, man, you're riding around with Boo. He's still the same kid he was when he was 13. You know what I mean? And I've been that same person all the way across the board. Money don't change you. It can change you, but money don't change. It ain't changed me. It ain't changed who I am. Yeah. I'm still the same redneck, wants to go hunting, fishing. I want to play in the dirt right along with everybody else, and then, and then the good Lord blessed me and gave me this talent to play the game of golf. And I took full advantage of it. And, of course, with him willing me through everything and helping me out, it is what it is. But it's the most amazing to be able to know that I'm a 3-time winner on the PGA Tour, a winner on the Ryder Cup. I've done something a lot of people ain't never done in their life and never been good. You know what I mean? And like I said, I've been very fortunate, very lucky to make it as far as I have in life. But, all of it still goes back to hard work. I don't care how you go about it. You got to stand out there and pound them golf balls. You got to stand out there by yourself, and you're going to talk to yourself, like I said, like Pat Perez does. But, it is what it is. But, you got to be the person to stand up, and you got to take responsibility. If this is your dream, this is what you got to do.
Yeah. So 2008 Ryder Cup, such an honor. Big win for the United States on home soil. And can you talk to me about your Sunday match, the first tee box, how you were feeling and what transpired after your drive on number 1?
Oh, man, the first thing is we was joking about it, me and my ex-wife at the time, or now, but whatever. But we were joking about it. We were going back in to, grab a snack. They had like a little room up there where our hotel was. They had a little room for all the players to get little snacks before they go to bed. And I went in there, and there's 2 officers that was sitting at the hallway there, and they were watching Happy Gilmore, and he was doing the damn thing, running down the thing, playing. And I started laughing. I said, I'm going to do that right there. And they said, yeah, whatever, Boo. I said, I'm going to tell you right now. I said, I'm going to do that. If I hit my tee ball over the edge of that tree, I promise you, I'm gonna do me the gallop going down through there. And they're like, yeah, whatever, And I didn't tell nobody about it. You know what I mean? Like, it was like that was in my mind. I got a video of me taking my practice swings before I teed off, and I start grinning. Like, I got this big old grin on my face. It was kind of like that. I knew right then that's when it hit me that, all right, I'm going to do this. Have a Gilmore. If I get over that tree, Gilmore, I hit it, and it went right over the corner of that tree perfect, and I started galloping down the fairway.
And did I think who was the captain? Was it Azinger?
Yeah, Azinger, yes.
And he was standing on the tee box, and he hadn't watched you play all week. and you smile at them and you rip your drive, and then you just take off doing the Happy Gilmore gallop down the middle of the fairway as the
Yes, sir.
first shot of a match on Sunday of the Ryder Cup.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. I mean, that was absolutely awesome. We were the underdogs. We were this and we were that. And I mean, I'm telling you, Anthony Kim had them lit up. Everybody, Chad Campbell, JB Home, man, we were like all the rookies that were there, man. We were pumped. We were so pumped. Like we wanted to show them what we got. You know, this ain't gonna be the same thing that happens every year. Like where they come back and they win or make it close or whatever. Like we finna give them an ass whipping the way I look at
it. And so you win your match 4-2. And what was that night like after you guys won the Ryder Cup?
It was pretty gosh darn wild. I mean, there was a lot of things going on. I mean, a lot of things went down, and I mean, I ain't gonna get into all detail, but there's a lot of things that is probably best left unsaid. You know, woo!
I would have to imagine Anthony Kim had a good night.
Yes, sir. He had a real good night. He did. Because he's the youngest one out of the bunch. I think he was like 23 or 24.
Right. You know? And he was on top of the world at that point. I mean, his game was unbelievable at that point. His confidence was incredible. I mean, you know, arguably maybe the peak of his career right in that zone.
Oh, yeah. Well, there ain't no telling where he could have went if he wouldn't have got hurt. I mean, like, he was one. I mean, you know, I played a lot of golf with Tiger and played with, you know, Anthony and stuff like that. And, I mean, both of them impressed me. But Anthony, he impressed me a lot. I mean, like, he really did. Tiger's always impressive, you know, but he's Tiger. I mean, he's always, you know, I mean, the day in and day out, I thank him every time I get to see him or be around him because, you know, he has brought so much more to golf than what Mr. Nicklaus and Mr. Palmer could bring. But they turned it over. They needed somebody to follow in their footsteps, and you know, and that was Tiger, Phil, and you know, Ernie Els, and you know, you think about it. I mean, they, you know, that's what made golf even get bigger. And of course, Tiger, you know, comes along and he does his thing. You know, I mean, everybody, you know, roots for Tiger. I still root for him.
Yeah, absolutely. So you play in 08, Ryder Cup win, and then you have an unbelievable run, and you win again in 2013. I believe it was at Colonial. What was that run like from 08 to 13, and then to notch another PGA Tour victory in a very, very competitive ecosystem at Colonial?
Oh, I love Colonial. Colonial Harbor Town. I like them old school golf courses where you got to work the ball a little bit of winds, you know, plays a factor in the game. And, you know, there's small greens, small fairways. It was awesome to win there because, I mean, you know, of course, you know, it's back home where it's not back home, but it's still in the southern states. And I can still, like, understand what people are saying, you know, when we're talking. Because, you know, like I said, I talk a little redneck, you know. I got that slang, you know, and they got their slang. And, you know, but, you know, it was awesome, man. Because, you know, it was fun. I mean, it's the hardest thing to describe your wins because at that moment, you're like, it's still, you know, I'm still at all, still at, you know, it's like, did I really just win Colonial? You know, this is where Ben Hogan, you stand there at that wall and you can look at every champion that won that tournament, you know, and I mean, for as long as they have that golf course there and as long as they got that wall, I mean, they keep that wall there, all them names of them, you know, the people that's won that tournament's on that wall. My name's going to be there for life.
Yeah.
You know, and dude, I mean, it's dumbfounding just to be able to sit there and know that my name is going to be there and my name is going to be in the record books anyway with the PGA Tour because I have won 3 times and I've won Harbor Town back to back, you know, and I mean, it's always going to be there. And it's like I said, it's the craziest thing to think that I'm a country boy that my background has nothing to do with golf, you know, nothing to do with anything with golf. Like, you know, didn't know nothing about golf until my mom started playing, you know, and then all of a sudden I fell in love with a stick and a ball, you know, I mean, more or less is what it is, you know, and then
right.
Cal, you know, and then here I am, you know, I'm playing on the PGA Tour, and, you know, and I'm representing my family, I'm representing my country, and I mean, you know, the only thing you got when you're out there playing is your name. So the way you act on a golf course is how people's going to pursue you or perceive you. You know, so you got to be, you know, you always be honest to yourself and be honest with your fans and your friends that are around you. And, you know, as long as you're that way, there shouldn't be no issue day in and day out. And I understand, like Tiger and them, they get a lot of pressure because, you know, there's so many people pulling to them. But, you know, you're talking about, you know, somebody like me, I walk against the ropes, talk to people.
Yeah.
You know, just to chit chat and say, how you doing? Thanks for coming out, man. You know, because, you know, y'all paying y'all, you know, at the time I was having kids. I had kids, and I was like, we're little kids, and thank you for coming out for, you know, I mean, you know, during the rainstorm. Thank y'all for coming out because, you know, you're help paying for my kids' diapers right now. You know what I mean? Like little stuff like that, it means a lot. Even to them, you know, they don't even know, you know, really what's going on with them. You know, they don't know if I'm kidding or not.
Have you ever been nervous on a tee box? I mean, you're always so happy, so positive, but have you ever been really overcome by nerves or had that adrenaline hit that really kind of gets your stomach tight?
Oh yeah. My rookie year, 2002, when I came out, I'd say, I think it was like the first 6 or 7 tournaments when they announced my name, I'd had to walk off to the side and throw up.
Really?
For real. Because that was so like this, oh my gosh, there's no way, dude. Don't even say my name. Just say, now on the tee box, you know. Like I was trying to hit it as fast as I could hit it without even trying to even say my name. Like if I was first to tee off, dude, I was like, man, I hate this, dude. This ain't gonna work out real good. I had to stand over by my bag and he announced my name. I just kneeled down like I'm praying. Just throw up, you know. I mean, dude, it was nerve wracking the first. Like I'm being serious. The first 7, 8 tournaments, I think I would throw up, man. Right there, I just choked.
Oh my God. And so if you were second to tee off and they announced the first guy's name, would you just go put a tee in the ground and try to swing as fast as possible?
Yes. I didn't care where it went. I didn't care if it went out of bounds. What, dude? I was just trying to get that motherfucker to announce my name. So, and it was like a catch. It was like, dude, it was like that one little catch. Like, you know what I mean? It was a catch. And then after a while, I kind of got, you know, my mom came out there and she was like, what in the world is wrong with you? I said, Mom, I'm nervous as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. And she said, no, you got to slow down, son. They said, when they announce your name, be proud. I said, oh, I'm proud. I'm proud. I'm throwing up. I'm proud of me. Oh, man, dude, I'm telling you, it was a rough go there the first couple of weeks. I mean, I had to carry mouthwash down in my ball bag. You know, I'm like
that. Oh my God. Oh, did anybody, like, did the other players who you didn't know or one of the other caddies or the starter on the first tee when you just puke on the tee box? I mean, what did they say?
I always stayed in my bag the furthest away or somewhere like, you know, like away from everybody where I couldn't, they could see me if the bleachers were right on top of me. But like I'd get down there, like I said, I'd kneel down like I'm on one knee, man. I'd just get behind my bag there and I'd take the towel, you know. Like then they'd be like, man, you all right? I said, man, I got the bug or something. I don't know, dude. Just stay away from me. Hey man, don't announce my name again.
Oh my God. It's unbelievable that you started, you know, again, 2002 with those kind of nerves, and then that you were able to crush it in the Ryder Cup 6 years later in arguably the #1 pressure situation from every single golfer I've ever spoken to. The Ryder Cup is it. It doesn't get more pressure filled, even more so than the majors, than a Ryder Cup, specifically Sunday on the first tee shot. And not only do you hit that tee shot and stripe it, you do the Happy Gilmore down the first fairway. It's unbelievable to think about you in 02 puking before every single first tee shot to Happy Gilmore down the fairway at the Ryder Cup.
That's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
That is so awesome. Well, Boo, thank you so much for taking the time. I appreciate it. Enjoy your time with the fam down there. It's so good to see your face. I hope we cross paths sooner than later. And thank you for sharing these stories with me. Oh, man, they're so good.
Hey, I enjoy it, buddy. Thank you, Mr. Kelly.
See you,
buddy.
Have a
good one. Yes, sir. Peace out.
I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, pal.
Yes, sir. Anytime. Bye-bye.